Good.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Tiff. I actually did my PhD in biomedical engineering at Cornell, in Ithaca, in electrical engineering and biomedical lab. I then did my postdoc through the Runway program at Cornell Tech, and had a phenomenal time while I was there, and was involved in everything entrepreneur that I could get my hands on while on campus. But I'm excited to present my venture SOCAi, that stands for Standard of Care AI, that we're focusing on basically disrupting the visible light, or anything that comes out of a smartphone or tablet, photography market, basically in medicine. And so a lot of work has been done in the radiology space to be able to apply AI to help us extract key insights that inform care. We're doing the same thing, but for visible light images, where we're focused initially starting in dermatology, but the sky's the limit. And so the real problem that we're tackling is that capturing and measuring data is, especially from smartphones and tablets, are very difficult for a human to do by hand. The capturing piece, people take images at all different angles, all different lightings, and then they're relying on those standardized or non-standardized images to be able to inform patient care and also track progress of a disease. In addition to that, the measurement of a lot of these diseases, especially in dermatology, is done by eye. So basically, the doctor or dermatologist is putting up a before and after photo, and then they're eyeballing through expert training the progress or changes in an image. But in 2025, we believe that we can do so much more. And the subjectivity in healthcare leads to inaccuracies, delayed treatment, and we believe that what we're building will transform things. And so the system, how it works is that through a smartphone, you can capture different parts of the body in a standardized, structured way. And then we can use AI to score and track this. So different from other companies in the space, we're not focused on the pure diagnosis piece. We're focusing on the quantification piece. So analogous to like a bathroom scale in the weight loss industry, but we are quantifying the severity of a disease so you can understand if your treatment is working or not. So through our system, we turn a 45 assessment by a doctor into a 5-minute assessment where the clinical staff or a patient can do at home. So driving a little bit deeper on the problem around the photography and lack of standardized images. So on the left are some examples of people taking images without our app. You can see that the images are blurry. They're not at a specific angle. They're kind of all over the place a little bit. On the right, you can see it's more structured and a similar angle. And so our first disease that we're going after within dermatology is hair loss, alopecia. And so this is why you see these examples here. On the right, you'll see more structured images, more similar lighting, and which we leverage this data to then feed into our AI system to help quantify and score severity. So why alopecia? Well, one, it's getting a lot of traction right now. A lot of research is being done in the space. Pharma companies are actually pouring a lot of money behind the research in developing new drugs in that space. In the more cosmeceutical space, there are a lot of new products and nutraceuticals like supplements that are being used and developed in this space. So it's actually a perfect time to be in the hair loss, hair regrowth space. But with all these products and drugs that are available, how do you know which ones are working for you uniquely? It's really right now is a subjective guessing game. And since hair grows slow, you have to wait months to find out that it wasn't working and you should have been on a different treatment. And this is very similar problem for, say, psoriasis, vitiligo, or other things that affect the skin. And then you can even expand this into like cancers and so on. So we're starting in the alopecia space, which has 80 million people in the United States experience some form of alopecia. So 50% of men and 40% of women will experience alopecia in their lives. But we have an opportunity to expand to broader dermatology space and other areas of medicine where they may be secondary or tertiary like endpoints for other types of drugs or treatments. And so our goal is to, right now we're rolling out our technology in different clinics, and it's through a SaaS subscription for the clinic to gain access to the tool and be able to use it in the clinical workflow without disrupting or changing things, and then being able to use that data to inform care. And so right now in the clinic, dermatologists are taking photos of their patients and using those photos, as I mentioned, to track progress. They don't have to make any change except for using our technology in capturing those photos, and then they'll get an automated score as part of that workflow. So our technology already has been published in JAMA Dermatology, and we've done a number of other research studies around it. And this is the findings from the more patient-centric side of things, because we are building tools for dermatologists, but at the end of the day, it really impacts the patient's lives. And our goal on the patient side of things is to boost confidence, more trust in the treatment, and increase compliance, because patient drop off with treatment, especially ones that are not sure if it's working or not, is pretty high. And so in this study, we've seen that patients that have used, were able to gain access to our AI scans, were less anxious, more hopeful about the future, more motivated to stick with their treatment plan, and 93% of them want to continue it on as part of their normal standard of care. And so this is a quote from one of the patients that use our system and our platform. And I think it summarizes everything that we're striving for at SOCAi. So hair loss has left me feeling out of control. So getting to see this numeric measure made me feel empowered and motivated to keep going with my treatment. So we're really hoping to be able to really transform patients' lives and then provide a more quantitative way of tracking progression, and to be able to help them make sure that they're getting the right treatment earlier. So right now we are raising a $5 million round. Our goal for this is to be able to expand our technology into more clinics, product innovation, so expanding out the technology to be able to have more comprehensive analysis within alopecia, but then moving into other disease indications. Having brand dominance, being able to, every dermatologist that does anything to do with the alopecia space, we want to make sure that they're aware of us. And then building a competitive moat. We already have one patent filed through CTL and Cornell licensing, and wanting to expand that as well. We also are planning to go down the 510K path, so that we can eventually get reimbursement for this technology. And so our mission at SOCAi is to, we envision a world where predictive insights and precision health solutions are accessible to everyone through a mobile device. So as you can imagine, if you can scan in an accurate way in the clinic, then you can also empower the patient to be able to do this at home. And with that, I'll take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. That was terrific. Let's see if we have any questions here. Maybe, do you have any plans to go into any treatment as well? Or diagnostics is where you're going to live?
Right now, our goal is to just stick with diagnostics, do that really well. And similar to what has been done in like the speech AI space with the dictations and stuff like that, we believe that if you can assess a lot of like all the different visual cues, that space is large enough for us to keep us busy.
Absolutely. And does your AI do you have a training plan for that, or does it get better with more people?
Absolutely. We do have a feedback loop built in, so that new data goes into training the platform and improving the algorithm. But we do also have the data partnership with Cornell, as well as the data that we're collecting and some other clinics to help build out the technology and continue to build out the technology.
And I guess the other question is you're going to go down a 510K, a regulated pathway. There's certainly a big cosmetic aspect to this. Why did you decide to go the more
Huh?
medical route as opposed to a more cosmetic route?
Yeah, so one, I think a lot of people when they are experiencing hair loss, they do go to a dermatologist, and we felt that the going focusing on the key opinion leaders, the ones that really influence treatments and care, it would be a better starting place. We definitely see an opportunity to be more in the beauty cosmetic space, but we thought that starting in healthcare would allow us to expand out versus starting in beauty. Then you're not seeing the same when you try and go back into health. Yeah, and then because we're positioning ourselves as a like clinician support tool, we don't have to be FDA approved based on our current business model and go to market strategy. But if we want to really grow and scale, we do see an opportunity to go down the 510K route. So it doesn't cost for the patients.
Great. And it looks like another question. Are your customers doctors or patients? Who owns the license? If Cornell, will you ever own the license? Is this even an option? Well, that's a different kind of question, but let's go to you. Who are your customers, doctors or patients?
Yeah, our customers are the dermatologists, and we're licensing the technology or uh, as a SaaS subscription to the dermatologist directly, or the clinic that has maybe multiple dermatologists. And then the question about the CTL, the license. So because went through the runway program, they had an amazing, unique agreement that though they own the license, we have free right to use the technology without having to pay a licensing fee back. So yeah.
Okay, very good. If there are any other questions, otherwise, Tiffany, thank you. Let's give you all a big hand and we'll
Thank,
go on to our next speaker. Thank you so much.
thank you. Bye.